Good afternoon, and welcome to this year's unveiling of the Wisconsin State Journal's top workplace winners. Companies in the Madison area that have shown a remarkable ability to create workplaces where employees are engaged, creative, and supported. Today's event is presented by the Madison-based Ascendium Education Group. Ascendium is committed not only to providing a great workplace, but to educational philanthropy and student success. Here's a word from our friends at Ascendium.
Hi everybody, I am Ross McDuffie, VP of Sales and Marketing for the Wisconsin State Journal, madison.com, and I'm joined here by Brett Lindquist, the VP of Strategic Communication for Ascendium Education Group. Ascendium, our presenting sponsor for the 2021 Top Workplaces virtual event. Brett, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, we're glad you're here. So I was doing some background research on Ascendium, and I learned that you're a more established company than I first realized, but you've had a name change recently. Can you tell us a little bit more? I'm sure there's more than just a name change behind that.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you asked, because not a lot of people know the Ascendium name. We've been around a while. We were formed in 1967. We're a nonprofit based out of Madison, Wisconsin. Most people would recognize us by our previous name, which was Great Lakes Higher Education. And a few years ago, so in early 2018, we sold our servicing division along with the Great Lakes name. And then shortly after that, we renamed ourselves Ascendium Education Group. And that's our name today. And we have about 180 employees based out of Madison here and another 90 employees spread out across the United States.
Wow, so what does Ascendium do now that you're not in the student loan servicing side of the operation? So what do you focus on?
Well, there's quite a bit to it, but we could pretty much boil it down to three main areas. First and foremost, we're the nation's largest student loan guarantee agency. And as a student loan guarantor, our role is to help borrowers avoid default and help them with options if they do. Next, we offer a suite of products under the Adigo brand name that are geared towards helping employers and schools with financial wellness services to the groups that they serve. And that includes a student loan repayment benefit. It also includes products such as financial literacy tools, online and in person, and it also includes personalized student loan counseling.
So
lastly, sorry, there's one more.
No, there's even more. Wow.
There's even more. And then the last thing is we're one of the nation's leading education and workforce training philanthropies.
Wow. So philanthropy, let's stick on that for just a moment. So Ascendium's philanthropic work in the community, you were very active in that space. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. Well, we're a national philanthropy. We do a lot locally, but we do operate nationally. And really what we're doing is we're working to change post-secondary and workforce training systems so that learners from low-income backgrounds have the same opportunities for academic and career success as anyone else. To do that, we make grants or award grants to researchers, to educational institutions, workforce training programs, and other various nonprofit organizations, all to work towards that big change to the systems. There's way more to it, and really the best thing to do would be for people to go to our website. It's ascendiumeducation.org and click on Education Philanthropy, and people can learn all about it.
All right, we'll make sure everyone has that URL. So I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler here because we're early on in the program, but Ascendium Education Group is a recipient of a 2021 Top Workplaces Award. So congratulations. A lot of hard work, I'm sure, goes into that. Tell us a little bit about that hard work and what do you think led to that recognition?
Well, we're really happy with it. First of all, it is a surprise, and we're thrilled. Working at Ascendium, it's a very rewarding place to work. We do a lot of good for people, and so I think it starts there. On top of that, we have a great workplace environment. We offer highly competitive compensation and benefits, and we have a good work-life balance. We are also very clear about who we are and where we're going as an organization. The leadership works really hard to make sure that our employees have the tools that they need to be successful in their jobs. I think it's a combination of all of those factors, and we're again just really thrilled to have gotten this award. We're proud of the accomplishment and just really thankful for the great feedback that we've gotten from our employees.
Well, you should be proud. You're clearly passionate about the work you do. I know that's reflected in all of your employees. So I want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
And I want to say thank you again to Ascendium Education Group for helping to make this virtual event possible. So we thank you. And I will throw it back then to the main event. Welcome to all of those who have joined us. This year's Top Workplaces surveyed 72 companies with a total of nearly 17,000 employees to arrive at this year's rankings. Of employees who received questionnaires, nearly 16,000 responded either on paper or online. For 2021, 45 employers earned recognition as top workplaces. The foundation of the program is a survey of employees who rate their workplace culture in a series of questions, and then their feedback gives companies insights about what makes them unique and what they can do to improve. Some of the things employers tell us about top workplaces are that the program heightens employee morale, it helps attract and retain employees, and it boosts their organization's profile in the community. Top Workplaces, through the partnership between the Wisconsin State Journal and Intergage, provides a great vehicle to showcase extraordinary workplaces and to get a well-deserved community shout-out for your accomplishments. The results of this year's Top Workplaces will be detailed in a special section published in the State Journal this Sunday. So don't forget to pick up a copy or view the publication online at madison.com. Each year, the project is a window into the passion and commitment of employers to provide the best possible working environment so that they have satisfied, engaged employees who contribute to their organization's success in a tremendously competitive marketplace. We hope that you'll watch for the State Journal special section, again to be published this Sunday, to read more about the companies that have invested in developing standout company cultures. Speaking of standout company cultures, before we go on, I'd like to take a moment of your time to hear from Infosec, a leading cybersecurity education provider based right here in Madison. All right, well, I am here with Jack Koziel, CEO and founder of Infosec, and we are in the beautiful downtown Madison Infosec headquarters. Is that right?
Yeah.
So thank you for welcoming us here and allowing us to sit down with you. We really appreciate it. And I believe congratulations are in order. You guys are a top workplace for 2021.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that.
Absolutely. And this is your second year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So
Second year on the list.
Sounds like you got a pattern developing. So now you got to keep it up. so let's talk a little bit about that, Jack. So I wanted to talk about the last 12 months, which we're probably all talking a lot about these days, and the changes that it's brought to the global workforce. You guys do work all over the country and the world. So much of the work is now done remotely, and there's communication happening all day, every day between employees on all sorts of different parts of their work. And your team is also working virtually right now in this space. Can you talk to us about how your focus at Infosec plays into that? Why is it so relevant to the virtual workforce, what you guys do here every day?
Sure. So at Infosec, we believe that fundamentally every person on Earth is going to have to learn new cybersecurity skills in order to be relevant in the workforce. Just like 20 years ago, like when I entered the workforce, you had to learn Microsoft Office. You put it on your resume. Kind of dating myself a little bit there, but nowadays everyone needs to learn cybersecurity skills, whether you're the CEO, whether you're a help desk, whether you're an accountant. So at Infosec, we help organizations build that cybersecurity culture and do that skills training that's so necessary today with so many people being remote and so many people dependent on the internet.
So I was doing some research on your company, and you guys take such a unique approach to the way that you handle cybersecurity. It's becoming this challenge that's really at a massive scale for even small companies having to try to plug all of the holes in the ship, to use that metaphor. That's a constant challenge. Can you talk to us about Infosec's model, how it's unique, and how does it help customers solve that cybersecurity problem?
Sure. So our belief fundamentally is that cybersecurity is a human concern. It's a human issue. And you can put all the technology in place that you want, but at the end of the day, it comes down to a person, whether they're going to click on that link or not, or whether they're going to secure the system that protects all the customers and employees. So we really believe that our model is around securing that human layer of helping people make the right decision when it comes down to it, and giving them the right skills they need to be empowered to do a good job, which includes being cyber secure.
So you were recognized as a 2021 Top Workplace for the second year in a row now. You've received that honor, but just here in Madison, you have a company of over 100 employees. You are in two large U.S. cities. Madison, you have an office in Chicago. You have a workforce that's virtual, but you're growing. And I'm curious what advice you would give to those kind of fledgling entrepreneurs out there, those young aspiring tech CEOs, which there are many, that about culture. What's the advice you would give them about how to create a culture, but then also how to keep a culture going in the face of adversity and growth at the same time?
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. The biggest mistake I made as an entrepreneur is not paying enough attention to culture. I thought it was, frankly, a BS thing that large companies did. You know, they wrote it on the back of a napkin and nobody paid attention to it. At least that was my experience when I worked at a large bank. But it's really the most important thing. Culture is what defines how you're going to interwork together, how you're going to interact with customers, and who you're going to work with. There's nothing that's more important than that. And maintaining that culture means being intentional about it. It means stating what are the cultural values that you're going to have for your organization, and then finding people that share those values and reinforcing those in every day and almost in every interaction, whether consciously or subconsciously. So it's the most important thing, and you really got to pay attention to it.
So ignore it at your own caution, right? Especially for a young company that's growing.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, if you look at, the best example is from Zappos, the shoe manufacturer or reseller that was sold to Amazon. I mean, it doesn't really matter who you buy shoes from, right? But they built a whole multi-billion-dollar business just on culture, just on having a customer-focused culture. So it makes a big difference.
That's great words of advice. And again, it's very clear why when you hear those words and that focus, you guys have received that Top Workplace Award. We do also I want to thank you personally for supporting Top Workplaces this year, helping us to make this virtual event possible. And I know for all the folks out there watching this, to be able to hear from an entrepreneur and a CEO and a leader like you in this space is really valuable to them as well. So thank you for that. Thank you again for inviting us into your headquarters. I know you're eager to hopefully see some more folks around here in the office soon, as we all are. And again, thank you, Jack, and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jack, and thanks again for hosting us at Infosec. And don't forget, the 4th edition of Top Workplaces is already in the planning stages. And we're looking forward to hearing about even more innovative approaches to employee engagement going forward for Top Workplaces 2022. Although it's a little early to announce specifics, you can nominate an organization for the 2022 program by visiting topworkplaces.com/Madison. Next, I'd like to introduce Bob Helbig, the Media Partnerships Director of Intergage, to talk about their role in determining the winners.
These remain challenging times for all of us personally and professionally. So let's take a moment to celebrate the good, and that is you, the 2021 Madison Top Workplaces. You continue to be intentional about your culture, and you continue to put your employees first. It shows. I'd like to start with a quote, one of thousands of comments we analyzed from employees as part of this year's research. Management is open about the directions of the company, the challenges we face, successes we've had, and financial standing. They communicated clearly a plan and backed up reassurances during the COVID pandemic. It truly feels like a business that wants every individual to succeed, knowing that the business as a whole will follow suit. That was from an employee at Single Wire Software, and it reflects how people are overcoming challenges to succeed. Employees at Top Workplaces are feeling heard, and they're feeling appreciated. They believe in the direction you're headed, and they're resilient. This is the 3rd year we've partnered with the Wisconsin State Journal to identify the top workplaces in the greater Madison area. Intergage surveyed more than 15,000 employees this year, yours included. We learned what's most important to your employees, and that is connection. connection with your remote workers, connection with your brave colleagues on the front lines, and connection with your teammates, some of whom are perhaps navigating a return to office life. This employee from Exact Sciences Corporation reflects how employees will remember being treated during these times. Everyone is so positive and outgoing. Every manager and supervisor is constantly asking if I have the tools to do my current job and enough support to reach my career goals. They really value a work-life balance and encourage everyone to take time off any day they want. Amazing company with modern values for company culture. Real connection is a two-way street. Real connection requires more than top-down, company-wide communication. So how will you continue to make real connection happen? I want to share 3 quick, concrete tips for you to consider. The first is to celebrate the good. Look for positive moments like this award to connect with your employees. You'll build pride, you'll boost loyalty, and you'll increase morale. Number 2 is to give employees a voice. The good news is that you've already taken this step through the employee engagement survey conducted this year. But we know that asking for feedback once a year is not enough. To maintain connection, you need to keep the dialogue open. Short, frequent pulse surveys can help you do that, and technology has made all of this so much easier. Number 3 is to make people-informed decisions. Don't let the data you've collected die on the vine. Unlock actionable insights from your employee survey feedback. Doing this will help you gain trust and confidence from your employees. I'd like to leave you with one final comment from an employee at American Telesystems. It's such a nice environment to work in. We are all treated like family. I get to express my thoughts and feelings with confidence. I get to help my customers with assistance from coworkers as needed. I feel very appreciated and respected. I couldn't imagine a better place to work. Congratulations once again to all of you for everything you've endured and everything you've achieved. I look forward to seeing you at next year's Top Workplaces celebration, hopefully in person.
Thanks, Bob. It's time now to reveal the top 5 ranked organizations in the small company category of this year's Top Workplaces. These firms had fewer than 100 employees and showed a diversity of styles and approaches. Number 5, Palmer Johnson Power Systems. Number 4, AE Business Solutions. Number 3, Shine United. Number 2, Infosec Institute. And the leading small company of the 2021 rankings for the second year in a row is Horizon Develop, Build, Manage. And here are other winners in the small company category. ACS Incorporated, C.G. Schmidt Incorporated, Godfrey & Kahn, SC, Heartland Credit Union, Heritage Credit Union, Holtz Builders Incorporated, LSM Chiropractic, Music Notes Incorporated, Strang Incorporated, Temperature Systems Incorporated, WEA Member Benefits, Weedman Lawn Care. Congratulations to all of our small company winners in Top Workplaces 2021. Since this is the 3rd year of the State Journal's Top Workplaces project, we've seen some trends develop and familiar faces in the winner's circle consistently. We sat down and talked with a few of our 3-time Top Workplace winners to find out more about their approaches to building strong workplaces. One of them is Dan Fitzgerald, CEO and President of Horizon Develop, Build, Manage. Horizon's 52 Madison-based employees work on development, construction, and property management, with a focus on affordable and market-rate senior housing, and a variety of other projects.
Well, hi, everybody. I am joined by Dan Fitzgerald of Horizon Develop, Build, Manage. Dan, congratulations on your recognition as a 2021 Top Workplace.
Thank you. Very exciting for us, and we're very proud of the team.
Oh, I know. This is becoming a bit of a pattern for you.
It has. I believe this is our 3rd year of being recognized, so I know it does great for our team and great for our culture. So we're really energized that we get to participate again this year with this recognition. So
Well, it should be. You are in an elite crowd there of 3-time winners. So this year, one of the things that the Top Workplaces survey revealed is that your employees really feel that they are part of something meaningful at work. And so I wanted to dig into that a bit. Why do your coworkers get that sense of meaningfulness for their work? How do you cultivate that in your position as CEO?
We really focus on cultivating the why. Why does Horizon exist? Back in our founding partner 37 years ago, our founding partner, his mother lived in a nursing home, and she really didn't need to live in a nursing home. So he dedicated his career to advancing senior housing options, whether affordable or market rate. But that was the key and the premise of what he focused on. And that's what Horizon is, and that's the why we're in business, is really to focus on those seniors and finding good, safe ways to develop housing that meets their needs, provides affordability, and allows them to live out of assisted living for a longer time. So cultivating that why with our staff is critical so they understand why they wake up every morning, why they come to the office charged, why they fit into a place, and every little small team member that does each component is critical for the success of that. And that drives the why and the meaningfulness of why you come in and work so hard.
So when I hear that word why, I think of a sense of meaning. How does that, in your mind, that sense of meaning contribute to the family and teamwork feel at Horizon? Because that was something we also heard a lot of in the survey results.
Yeah, the family side of it is you're really putting a human touch on what you do every day. So one of the key components we do is we celebrate a lot. So when we finish a new development, we invite our staff and we bring them out to the ribbon cutting. And at the ribbon cutting, several of the new residents that sign leases are participating in that. And that's when our staff really gets to put the human side onto the why side of the business. And I can tell you a story of when I first got really impacted is at one of these ribbon cuttings. And when you feel the hug from a resident who is in tears and has said, "I never thought I could live in a place this nice," that just really solidified my foundation and my passion to dedicate my career along the Horizon guidelines and the why we're in business. So that really putting the human factor on it brings that family factor to the team of we're really doing and changing humans' lives. And by doing so, it makes you proud to come to work, and it makes you want to work together, and it makes you really focus and help each other out, because there's a bigger mission here. And when we don't have anybody in the office that says, "That's not in my job description, that's not what we do." We team up, we help each other out, because we know there's the bigger mission out there, and that's providing more affordable housing to the seniors on fixed incomes.
So you are sitting in that CEO chair around this time last year, and the pandemic hits, and there's, you're the top guy, and the pressure's on you to then figure out, how do I maintain a culture in a world of question marks? We have no idea what's ahead of us and what it's going to take to get to the other side of it. Talk about what Horizon did during the pandemic to hang on to that company culture.
Yeah, what a curveball that all of us kind of unforeseen. We were all riding pretty strongly, and then all of a sudden your whole world turned upside down, and it was quite the challenge. But what we did to kind of focus on that is we asked our employees, what's your biggest concern? And safety was number one. How do we know with this unknown pandemic, how is it going to impact us? How is it going to impact our lives? So safety was number one. So we sent everyone home, and we equipped them with all the tools they needed at home to still continue their job. But the other big thing was the flexibility side of it, and the unknowns of how are you going to get your day-to-day life done with your work and professional life? And that included several kids at home, school programs that were going virtual versus being in person. So we were very flexible and we adapted and we listened to what our employees needed and what was their roadblocks and what were those challenges. And we were very sensitive to them, and we worked together to overcome them. So one of the things we implemented was a back to school tuition program. So that was a program that we put in place, and it's a monthly tuition reimbursement for our team members that if they hire tutors or if they need internet access or if they needed to buy a new computer for home, we have a program that each one of the employees can submit their invoices for, and we reimburse them for some of those expenses, which demonstrates that we're in this together, and it's that family approach. But it's also, how do you keep the culture together? How do you keep the team together in that family setting of working together, laughing together, working, playing together? So we did a lot of the normal activities that we were doing in the office. We kind of did them virtually then. We conducted a food drive. We did a lot of social activities, such as trivia night. We did make your own pizza kits. We did gingerbread houses during the holidays. So all of that really kind of contributed to maintaining the culture and being sensitive and caring for some of the challenges that every household may have. And they were all different. So one of the big investments we did just before the pandemic hit was to invest in a new project management software. And that has paid huge dividends for us, because once we all went home and we all went virtually, our new project management software allowed us to work on a web platform and virtually, and everyone had access to the tools and information they needed to keep their individual responsibilities moving forward. So we were just fortunate that happened, but it's keeping that culture of, hey, we're in this together and we're a family and we're a team, and having flexible work hours and when people can come to the office, when they can't, and when they got to help their kids go through their schooling programs, and working weird hours of nights and days, and just keeping the projects moving forward, because our contracts have deadlines and they have dates and they have liquidated damages if we don't hit them. So everyone rolled up their sleeves. I couldn't be prouder of them. And we're just clicking along at a very good pace now. So
I love the simplicity of something that you commented on there at the very beginning. You wanted to know what your employees were most concerned about, so you asked them, right? You asked them and you found out, and then you addressed that. That's a wonderful thing. So you're in a business that certainly, technology and innovation in the development and building space has made leaps and bounds over the decades, but it's also a space where I imagine it's sometimes a challenge to innovate and create new ideas that are really going to push the business forward. How do you, in the CEO chair, how do you stimulate and encourage new idea generation amongst your team members?
We have a built-in process at every one of our projects that we develop internally. It starts from the resident and comes backwards to the design phase. We don't start at a design phase and work forward and say, now rent this. We're surveying our residents. We're getting the feedback. What's missing? What's new? What should we be implementing? And we're talking firsthand to our residents about what they would like to see or what they wish they had in their units. So that kind of drives back to our end of project review, which is kind of our lessons learned and process improvement exercise. So every project we go through and we sit down and we memorialize, what do the residents think of the project? How did our internal team do on the project, and where are some of the systems that we can improve? And then based on our subcontractors too, is where's the feedback and how do we make you more successful in the next project? So it's that innovation of constantly surveying and asking, how can we do better? What can we do differently? Where can we be modifying our delivery methods so you make more money? And it's been received so well that our subcontractors love to work for us. A true testament is the number of bids we get on projects is strong, because a lot of the subcontractors want to work with us. And then that also correlates to a lot of our customers are repeat customers. And with that repeat customer, it's building on what you've learned versus recreating and learning new methods and techniques. So,
well,
all those ideas kind of come from just asking, kind of like
right.
you said earlier.
Right.
It's ask your customer base, ask your staff. That's how you improve. That's how you hear. And we like to hear the good and the bad. the good is nice to celebrate, and we all like celebrating, but the opportunities for improvement are always the good ones to hear. And it's tough for everyone to kind of highlight that, but we keep asking and we keep prodding, and we're very successful at getting that out, and that allows us to make ourselves better.
Yeah, I had a very smart person tell me one time that feedback is a gift, right?
Yes.
No matter what it is.
Good or
it's
bad.
Good or bad, it's always a gift, right?
It's a gift.
Well, for anybody in our audience that didn't know why Horizon Develop, Build, Manage has been a winner 3 years in a row, I think they know now, Dan. So thank you for joining us for the Top Workplaces event. Congratulations again on your win. Dan Fitzgerald, CEO of Horizon Develop, Build, Manage, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan, for sharing Horizon's story. Now it's time to announce the top 5 ranked companies in the mid-sized companies category. These organizations have workforces of between 100 and 299 people. They are: number 5, First Choice Dental Group. Number 4, Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. Number 3, Ascendium Education Group. Number 2, WPPI Energy. Our top performing company in this category in 2021 is Single Wire Software. Now let's take a look at the other winners among mid-sized firms. Aldi, American Telesystems Incorporated, Associated Bank, Credit Union National Association, Independent Pharmacy Cooperative, Johnson Financial Group, Madison Property Management, NewGen, Nordic, One Community Bank, Paradigm, the Douglas Stewart Company, Urban Land Interests, West Bend Mutual Insurance Company, Wyden Enterprises Incorporated. That's certainly an impressive group with tremendous commitment to employee engagement. Now I'd like to introduce a representative of another one of our 3-time winners, Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, which has grown to 9,000 employees nationally.
Well, I am pleased to be joined by Cathy Boltmann, the VP of Corporate Communications at Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. Cathy, congratulations.
Thank you.
So you are the champs this year. You have over 270 employees at your Madison headquarters. You have more than 9,000 nationally at Fairway. You ranked number 1 in the large company category nationally in Top Workplaces USA, not just in our Madison program. So congratulations again. That is an incredible accomplishment. I think you have to go to Disney World or something after that. So I hope you have a trip planned. Can you give us some headlines about how you maintain a strong company culture at such scale at that national level?
I think it begins at the beginning. When an employee comes aboard with Fairway, they are onboarded in such a fashion and brought on board with our core values in mind. We try really hard to emphasize to all of our employees the key core values of humble and hungry and smart and being ready to have fun. And we like to create, we strive to create an amazing experience for all of our employees. We want them to feel like they're part of our Fairway family, because Fairway is our family, and it's a core value that we have as well. What we also strive to do is to make sure that everyone knows that here at Fairway, that we're a very lateral company. We don't have a lot of hierarchy. When an employee comes aboard, they can talk with the CEO. They can talk with anyone, and they can get help from anyone. We communicate, sometimes we jokingly say we over-communicate to our employees. We try and make sure that they feel relaxed, comfortable, have the tools they need to get running right away, and that they feel welcome by everyone in all departments. We have welcome calls that we do every single day with all of our new hires to have them meet the various departments and learn about Fairway.
Wow, there's a lot of good nuggets there to chew on for anybody looking to build a culture like you've built at Fairway. I know empowerment is a big part of that culture and employee engagement. Can you talk a little bit about how Fairway empowers its staff?
Yes, actually, one of the finest examples I think of empowerment is our coaching company that we have. It's internal and it's called Ignite. And our president of sales, Sarah Middleton, is phenomenal. And she leads our Ignite team. And we have strived to provide an environment where people can be coached, can grow, can learn, can prosper, and do very, very well. And Sarah and her whole Ignite coaching team do just a great job of increasing that sense of entrepreneurship in our employees. And also back to our name, Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, we're never going to lose the word independent. We want people to feel that although they're part of our company, part of our culture, part of our core values, that they have the independence to function out in the street, as we call it, in a way that helps them to succeed.
I love that. The words matter, right? That title, that piece of your title is such an important piece of your culture. That's great. So when the pandemic hit, I understand that your CEO took a rather remarkable step in beefing up your wellness program, something that was top of mind with everybody over the last 12 months. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes, I honestly think this is one of the features that makes Fairway truly unique. Our CEO, Steve Jacobson, he immediately reached out to our wellness coordinators and our benefits coordinators and said, let's furnish every employee who's been here a year with a piece of exercise equipment. And for example, I believe there were 6 different pieces of equipment you could choose from. I've got a bike here that's really nice. We're all able to work out during the day, take a few minutes, and wellness is really key and very important to Steve and to the leadership here at Fairway. One of the things that they also did, which touched a lot of us, was when you have a purchase like that, there are taxes involved, and they could have taken those taxes out of our pay in terms of the gift. Not Steve. He reimbursed us for those taxes. So it was a net zero cost to the employee, and he spent millions of dollars doing that. And it continues, not just during the pandemic. New employees who've been here a year get a piece of exercise equipment. It's just one piece of wellness that he really focused on.
That is truly extraordinary. That is absolutely incredible. Can you talk about the importance that Fairway puts on attracting and more importantly, retaining employees? You've listed several of those already, but can you kind of wrap that up for us?
Yes, it's so important. Retention, retention, retention. We want people to feel like that this is their forever home in their workplace. I've been with Fairway almost 18 years. In a couple of months, it'll be 18 years. And I personally cannot imagine going anyplace else. But that all comes about when you feel connected. Connectedness is a big thing here at Fairway. We want to make sure that people aren't feeling, especially with the pandemic and people working remotely, we're sponsoring lots of events and calls and video meetings and get-togethers by video where people can relate to others and ask questions and have fun events as well. We have a diversity and inclusion program that was launched this last year, and D&I is very important to our growth. We want to make sure that we're reaching out and that we're bringing in, embracing people from all walks of life to come work at Fairway. We want people to feel welcome. We want to be inclusive, and we want people to know that we're here for them when they do come aboard. And that's why we also have wellness initiatives with like Rally and some of our other benefits that allow an employee to get, we have counseling available and so forth. We try really hard to reach out and make sure people are getting trained, get the tools they need so they want to stay. And we're also offering, we offer very good benefit packages here at Fairway, and I think our compensation is quite good as well.
Well, there is no mystery as to why you have continuously ranked at the top of this list and nationwide have earned that recognition as well. Cathy Boltmann of Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for being a part of our Top Workplaces celebration.
Thank you so much.
Fairway has obviously done a great job with workplace culture and engaging team members. The large company category contains many companies familiar to all of us. This category includes firms which have workforces numbering 300 or more. Let's take a look at the top 5 in this category. Number 5, Kwik Trip. Number 4, Summit Credit Union. Number 3, First Weber Realtors. Number 2, Exact Sciences Corporation. And leading the way this year in the large company category is another familiar institution, UW Credit Union. Here are other winners in the large company category for 2021. NYNET Incorporated, TDS Telecommunications, WPS Health Solutions. Congratulations to all the large companies in this year's rankings. Continuing with our spotlight on three-time winners, let's talk to John McHugh, Director of Public Relations for La Crosse-based Kwik Trip. The chain has 73 stores in our area and more than 770 in Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa. In all, it employs more than 29,000 people.
Well, I am joined today by John McHugh, the Director of Public Relations with Kwik Trip. John, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Well, we are very glad to have you. So let's talk about Kwik Trip and your employees. I think it's fair to say working in a convenience store is probably a fairly thankless job for a lot of people and maybe not considered the most luxurious of opportunities on the career side. However, every time I walk inside of one, I see smiling faces and great customer service. And to put some data behind it, your employees year after year have identified you as a top workplace. So there's some secret sauce there that's going on. Can you give us an idea what it is about the Kwik Trip culture that's keeping your coworkers satisfied around your many locations?
I think there's actually two factors that really contribute to a great workplace. The first is having a sense of purpose in your job. What we've discovered is that our coworkers want more than just a paycheck. They want to know that their job is more important than just selling gasoline and hot dogs. They want to make sure that something they did today really made a difference. So we're a mission-driven organization because of that. So we stress our mission, which is to treat others as you'd like to be treated, which is the golden rule applied to business. And then we reward and acknowledge when they live up to that. This last year, I'm proud to say that we received unsolicited 2,529 customer letters in which they wrote and said, your coworker did such a great job taking care of me. And sometimes those stories are so great that there's not a dry eye in the house when we share those. So that sense of purpose is important. And the second commodity for us, I think, which is critical, is a sense of compassion, that we treat our coworkers with a great deal of compassion internally, because we can't expect them to provide great guest service to the public for 8 hours or even a 10-hour shift if, first of all, we don't treat them with compassion. If you've ever worked in a toxic work environment, you know how challenging that can be. So we make sure, first of all, that we treat our coworkers with compassion. And when we do that, then they can reach out and take care of our guests with compassion. Those are the two components, I think, that make a great workplace.
Well, I can certainly see that reflected when I walk in there. Also great hot dogs, though. Let's not sell the hot dogs short. Great hot dogs. So I understand that Kwik Trip also offers some pretty remarkable fringe benefits. Can you give us some highlights of what that means?
I think one of the benefits we're most known for in our market is the fact that our family that owns us, because we're privately owned, the family that owns us shares 40% of the pre-tax profits with all of its coworkers. The other 27.5% goes to Uncle Sam to pay tax. Another 27.5% goes for new stores, capital expenditures. The family that owns us, first, second, third, fourth generation, only take 5% of all the profits of the company, which is almost nothing with that many family members. And so that's one of the great benefits. So practically what happened last year is every single coworker, full-time, part-time, working the register, making the donuts, delivering the donuts, they all got a 12% cash bonus. So whatever made that year, another 12% in cash, and another 5% in their 401k. Even if they didn't put a dime into it, they get that 5%. So that's probably the largest benefit that we're known for here at Kwik Trip, is that wonderful profit sharing. That is incredible. Wow.
So you've experienced, speaking of profit, you've experienced a healthy rate of growth in recent years. You have 770 stores in 73 just in the Madison area. I mean, you are omnipresent across a lot of different footprints, and especially here in South Central Wisconsin. So with growth comes a lot of good things, also a lot of challenges. What about company culture? As you've grown, how have you maintained the culture that keeps getting you ranked as a top place to work?
Yeah, exactly, Russ. We've grown by about 50 new stores a year the last 5 years. A couple pieces to that growth is we're very fortunate and blessed that we have extremely low turnover at Kwik Trip. In our industry, turnover is well over 100%. There's some of our markets in which turnover is as low as 11%. Is once people come to work for Kwik Trip, they don't leave. So that helps us grow. And the second piece to that is all of our coworkers internally know that there's a lot of opportunities for leadership and growth. Because we're growing, we tend to have a lot of our leaders start internally as maybe a part-time coworker, and then work up into guest service, then full-time, and then eventually assistant store leader and store leader. So when they join us, they know that they're not dead-ended. They have a lot of opportunities, and with that kind of growth, you can become a leader in a pretty short order of time. So that really helps our success and our growth.
So if anybody that goes into a Kwik Trip regularly knows that you are always innovating, there's always new things that are being offered, usually very delicious new things that are being offered. But you've certainly faced, just like everybody else, the last 12 months with the pandemic, the challenges that has brought. You continue to innovate, you've continued to grow. How have your employees adapted? How have you helped them adapt in the face of doing all of those things in the hardest stretch of 12 months that most of us have ever seen?
Yeah, I think for us, one of the parts of innovation that's real critical is our culture, is that 80% of all the products inside a Kwik Trip store we actually make or produce here in La Crosse. So our coworkers take a great deal of pride in the quality of product that they're offering. And we've also looked, especially this last year, what is the customer looking for in times like these? So we've expanded our food offerings. All of you know of us as a food destination. Well, this last year we added fresh fried chicken in all of our stores, and also something called take-home meals. So what we've learned is that a lot of people don't want to cook, or maybe they really haven't had a desire to learn how to cook, but they want a good meal that they can have like they used to have from mom or grandma. So that's been an important part for us this last year, that innovation. The other interesting thing during the pandemic, as many of you know, we have our own dairy. We process about 1 million pounds of milk a day, but we also have our own ice cream plant associated with that. And our ice cream sales during the pandemic went through the roof. So much so that sometimes we couldn't even keep the store stocked. It's been so successful for us that this coming year we're actually adding addition onto the dairy so that we can provide more ice cream for our guests.
Wow. This interview has made me exceptionally hungry, John, so thank you for that. I do appreciate it. The breakfast pizza, staple in the McDuffie household, so highly recommend that one as a take-home meal. Well, we do appreciate your time, John, and thank you for joining us for the Top Workplaces event. Congratulations again on this well-deserved recognition.
Thank you. It's an honor.
It's pretty clear that Kwik Trip has succeeded by taking care of its employees and its customers. Thanks, John. Now it's time to roll out our Middleton Chamber of Commerce Special Awards. The Middleton Chamber of Commerce helps promote a strong economy and a high quality of life for its members and the Middleton community. Here's a word from the Chamber.
Hi, I'm Kate Miller, Executive Director of the Middleton Chamber of Commerce, coming to you from beautiful downtown Middleton. The Middleton Chamber is honored to sponsor these special awards. I applaud all the nominees for their people-centered culture, exemplary leadership and direction, and encouraging new ideas. Thank you for all that you do for the Madison region.
Among this year's top workplaces, employees singled out companies for their extraordinary efforts in important phases of workplace life, ranging from leadership to transparency to fringe benefits. These special award winners were determined by Energage through employees' responses to specific survey statements. Based on these statements, they ranked their workplaces on a 7-point scale that ranged from strongly agree to strongly disagree. In the category of leadership, employees were presented with a survey statement. I have confidence in the leader of this company. There were 3 winners in this category. In the large company category, employees recognized the leadership of Kevin Conroy, CEO of Exact Sciences Corporation. One employee remarked, Kevin has always seemed to put his all into everything. Most CEOs feel like they put on a face when they address their company, but his concerns and encouragement always feel genuine and raw. The leader recognized in the Midsize category was Paul Shane, CEO of Single Wire Software. An employee there observed, management is open about the directions of the company, the challenges we face, the successes we've had, and financial standing. They communicated clearly a plan and backed up reassurances during the COVID pandemic. It truly feels like a business that wants every individual in the business to succeed. And in the small company category, the leadership of Sally Dishler, CEO of Heartland Credit Union, stood out. Says one employee, "Sally is great. She gives the women of the company confidence in knowing someday we could be CEO of a company." Here are the other winners in the remaining special award categories. Meaningfulness, Horizon Develop, Build Manage. Values, UW Credit Union. Direction, Kwik Trip. Clued In Senior Management, Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. New Ideas, Infosec Institute. Communication, WPPI Energy. Appreciation, Shine United. Managers, the Douglas Stewart Company. Doers, Godfrey and Kahn. Work-life flexibility, Wyden Enterprises. Training, Ascendium Education Group. Benefits, Summit Credit Union. Those are your Middleton Chamber of Commerce Special Award winners for 2021. Congratulations to those organizations. And now, speaking of special, I'd like to introduce several Madison area companies that were recognized in this year's first ever Top Workplaces USA competition. Top Workplaces USA offers recognition for large organizations and those that may have operations in multiple markets. Several thousand companies nationally and 1,100 participated in the 2021 rankings. Winners were chosen solely on employee feedback gathered through the Energage Employee Engagement Survey. They were calculated by comparing the survey research-based statements against industry benchmarks. Notable this year was the Madison-based Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation with more than 9,300 employees. They topped the national list of large-size companies. Congratulations to Fairway and to those outstanding companies that have operations in our area. Now I'd like to turn it back over to Ross McDuffie.
It is an honor to be in the company of so many organizations that obviously care so deeply about the way they treat and support employees. That says a lot about the Madison area and why we are a leader in so many fields. It also speaks to why the Madison area economy is so vibrant, productive, and resilient. We're grateful for our participating companies and all those who have joined us for today's announcement of our winners. We'd like to thank our virtual event sponsors most of all, Ascendium Education Group, who was an invaluable partner in presenting this year's awards. Infosec, Kwik Trip, and Holtz Builders also helped to bring this celebration to life. And our special awards sponsor, the Middleton Chamber of Commerce. We thank you. Don't forget to pick up Sunday's State Journal or view Top Workplaces at madison.com. And remember that the first step toward earning Top Workplaces recognition is by nominating a top-performing organization for next year's program at topworkplaces.com/Madison. We're eager to see you again next year to celebrate more companies and their amazing achievements. In the meantime, stay well and keep building strong and inviting workplaces. We'll see you soon.